There was an old well near my grandfather's house. But as far as I can remember, no one had ever taken water from there, not 10 years ago, not 20, and not even 50. My grandfather said that there had never been any water there. My grandmother scared us by saying that Kikimora lived in the well. My brother and I laughed at the name Kikimora for a long time, but one day, she told us a scary story about this well. My grandfather built this hut back in 1952. My grandmother got married and moved to this new house. My father dug a deep well. There was no running water then. He dug the well, but the water never came. Then he boarded it up with logs for better times. We took water from a public pump next to the house. A little later, strange things began to happen. Someone started tearing out these logs at night, from the inside, stealing chickens, and sometimes sheep. Sometimes this someone chopped them up right in the yard. Grandma says that it was a terrible sight. Grandpa refused to believe in Kikimora and did not bury the well, hoping that water would appear soon. Grandma that night, or rather already in the morning, saw the same creature that crawled out of the well. It had pale skin, it looked very thin. Skin to the bone and huge long fingers, judging by the description. It looked very much like the so-called rake or rake man. So the well stood for many years unburied, but already boarded up with oak boards. Grandpa and Grandma died, and they forgot about the fact that there was something in the well. For some reason, these tales were not told to my father at all. Then this house became our summer vacation spot. Something like a dacha. One summer, I don't know how it came to our minds, Vlad and I decided to take a look at this creature from the well with our own eyes. Of course, we didn't believe in any Kikimoras and were wildly laughing about it. But we really wanted to film a real rake on camera. That day, we asked our parents for permission to spend the night outside near the house in a tent. My father supported the idea of spending the night outside, and my mother was against it. In the yard, we turned on a dim old lamp so that at least something could be seen. Vlad stole a piece of meat to lure the creature. Night fell. When my parents turned off the lights in the house, we put a piece of raw meat next to the boards and climbed into the tent. Nothing happened for almost 2 hours. Vlad finished his bag of chips and was already fast asleep, never waiting for the monster. And I could barely keep my eyes open when suddenly I heard the sound of boards being moved aside. I was frozen with horror. I couldn't breathe. I had to wake Vlad up. But I was afraid to move. Gathering all my will into a fist, I overcame my fear and woke Vlad up. Putting my finger to my lips, I showed him a sign quietly and gestured towards the old well. Vlad looked at me with wide eyes. We tried not to breathe, although our breathing and the beating of our hearts seemed very loud to us. Having not heard anything else, Vlad spread his arms and whispered, "Why the hell did I wake him up if there's nothing there?" I replied that I heard the sound of boards near the well. He didn't believe me and suddenly jumped out of the tent. I wanted to grab him by the leg, but I didn't have time. I was still shaking with fear, but then I also came out of our shelter. Vlad was nowhere to be found. I started to panic. Then he suddenly scared me from behind and laughed loudly. He didn't believe me that I heard. He went straight to the well. There was no meat there anymore. Vlad again accused me of hiding a piece of meat and wanting to scare him. And to prove that he was not afraid of anything and did not trust me, he decided to look into the well. I tried to dissuade him, but he was determined. He moved all the boards aside and looked inside, then froze. I asked him why he was silent, but he did not answer. Now I thought that he also approached the well and looked inside. There was something in the depths of the dark well. Someone was sitting at the bottom and chewing a piece of meat. A terrible fear seized us. I was afraid to even scream. And Vlad stood in one place and kept looking down. I screamed loudly. Father turned on the light in the house. Ran out into the yard with a flashlight. I pointed to the well. My father ran there. Turning on the flashlight and illuminating the bottom of the well, he saw Vlad lying there. They lifted him up. He broke his arm and he got it badly. He was covered in scratches and abrasions. He was very lucky that he did not smash himself to death. My father did not pay attention to our words and was very angry. He said that Vlad just his boyish stupidity, fell in there himself, said that he would bury the well the next day, and no rakes exist. He really did bury the well. Perhaps it was somehow connected to the local caves below. And that is how this creature got here to the surface. But we saw it, it exists. Perhaps people call it something else. But it was exactly it, the rake or the rake man. And we remembered this for the rest of our lives. Our grandmother was right.